Tonight, I want to share with you a timeless practice that monks have relied on for centuries, a way to calm the racing mind and slip into true, restful peace. Over the next few hours, I'll tell you 10 Zen stories, each carrying a quiet teaching hidden within its words. These stories aren't just tales. They're gentle keys that unlock your natural ability to let go of fear, stress, and restless thoughts. What makes this different from ordinary sleep meditations is simple. It works for everyone. Even if you've never meditated before, even if your mind feels uncontrollable, even if nothing else has ever helped. The Buddha once reminded us, peace comes from within. Do not seek it outside yourself. Tonight, you'll discover exactly what he meant, and how that wisdom can lead you into the most tranquil rest of your life. So, before the first story begins, let us prepare the mind. Wherever you are, allow yourself to rest. If you're lying down, let the bed hold you. If you're sitting, let the chair carry your weight. Take a slow, steady breath in, and let it go gently. Again, inhale and exhale. Each breath is like a wave touching the shore, pulling away the noise of the day. Notice how the body softens as the mind begins to grow quieter. In Zen, this moment is called returning to the center. It is the simple act of coming home to yourself. And as you rest here, you'll find that silence is not empty, it is full of healing. Our journey begins with a simple Zen tale. Long ago, a student came to his master with a troubled heart. He asked, "Teacher, how do I find peace in this restless world?" The master said nothing. Instead, he walked to the garden and pointed to the clear water in a still pond. When the water is calm, he finally spoke. The moon reflects perfectly. But when the water is disturbed, the reflection breaks apart. The lesson was clear: peace is not something to chase, but something that appears naturally when the mind becomes still. Just as the moon always waits in the sky, peace is always within you. All that's needed is stillness. Take a moment to reflect on this story. Think of your own life. How often does your mind ripple like disturbed water? Every worry, every fear, every desire creates waves. And in those moments, it becomes hard to see the peace that has always been there. But when you slow down, when you breathe, when you allow silence to settle, clarity appears. Just as the moon shines effortlessly in still waters, so too does peace shine within you when the mind rests. The practice is simple. Breathe deeply, let go, and return to this stillness whenever life feels overwhelming. Mindfulness is not about forcing the mind to be quiet. It is about noticing, observing, and allowing things to be as they are. The breath moves in and out, thoughts rise and fall, emotions appear and fade. Nothing needs to be controlled. Instead, mindfulness teaches us to witness. When you observe without clinging, without judgment, the mind slowly settles by itself. Like leaves drifting on a river, every thought passes naturally. And in that gentle flow, awareness deepens. This is the heart of Zen, being fully present, right here, in this moment. A Zen master once poured tea into a student's cup. The cup filled quickly, but the master continued pouring until the tea overflowed onto the table. The student cried, "Master, the cup is already full." The master smiled and said, "Like this cup, your mind is full of thoughts, opinions, and noise. Until you empty it, nothing new can enter." The lesson is simple. Only when we let go of the constant chatter can we truly listen, truly learn, truly see. By creating space in our minds, mindfulness reveals the wisdom that has always been within us. Much of our suffering comes not from the world itself, but from our refusal to release what no longer serves us. We hold on to anger, to fear, to the weight of old stories, and wonder why peace feels so far away. Imagine holding a rope that burns your hands, yet you keep clutching it tighter. The pain does not come from the rope, but from your unwillingness to let it go. In the same way, when we soften our grip on resentment and expectations, we discover that freedom has been waiting for us all along. Letting go is not loss, it is liberation. Life in its purest form has always been simple, yet we constantly complicate it with desires, comparisons, and endless striving. The bird does not wonder if it sings well enough. The river does not question if its flow is graceful. Their existence itself is peace. When we return to simplicity, when we strip away what is unnecessary, we discover the quiet joy of just being. A warm cup of tea, the sound of rain, a single breath taken with awareness, these are not small things. They are the essence of life. True peace is not found in what we add, but in what we release. So often we hold tightly to the idea that we are in control, that life will bend to our will if we simply try harder. Yet, no matter how firm our grip, the river flows as it chooses. The seasons turn without our permission, and storms arrive uninvited. Control is an illusion, and clinging to it brings nothing but suffering. When we loosen our grasp, when we surrender to the flow of existence, we discover freedom. To walk with life rather than against it is to walk with ease. True strength is not in forcing the world, but in moving gracefully within it. Compassion is the heart of awakening. To see the suffering of another and respond with kindness is to recognize that their pain is not separate from our own. The walls between you and me begin to dissolve, and in their place grows a quiet understanding. We are threads of the same vast tapestry. Compassion is not weakness, nor is it sentimental, it is the most powerful act a human being can embody. When we cultivate compassion, we soften the hardness within ourselves, and in doing so, we open a path where both healing and peace can take root. Desire can feel like a fire that never ceases to burn. The more we feed it, the more it consumes. It whispers promises of fulfillment if only we grasp a little more, achieve a little more, hold on a little tighter. Yet, as soon as one longing is met, another arises, leaving us restless once again. True freedom is not found in feeding desire, but in seeing its nature clearly. To witness desire without being pulled into its grasp is to experience a lightness of being, a release from chains we didn't know we carried. In that space, contentment quietly blossoms. Letting go is not about loss, nor is it about giving up. It is the quiet act of releasing our grip on what was never truly ours to hold. We cling to people, moments, and even pain, believing that our grasp gives them permanence. Yet all things are already in motion, changing, shifting, passing. When we open our hands, when we allow life to flow as it will, we discover that letting go does not diminish us. It frees us. It makes space for peace, for presence, and for the gentle truth that nothing real can ever be taken away. Stillness is not the absence of movement, nor is it silence alone. It is the presence of awareness within every breath, every heartbeat, every pause. In stillness, we do not escape the world, we see it more clearly. The rushing thoughts, the restless longings, the noise of life all soften when we step into the quiet space within. Here, the mind no longer chases, the heart no longer clings. In stillness, we find the path to our true nature, changing, timeless, and free. Compassion is the soft rain that nourishes even the hardest soil. It does not demand, it does not boast, it simply flows. To see another's suffering and respond with kindness is to awaken the Buddha within. Compassion does not weaken us, it strengthens, binding the human spirit in unity. It transforms anger into understanding and fear into trust. When we act with compassion, we become a lamp in the darkness, offering light not only to others but to ourselves. We spend much of our lives grasping for control, trying to shape the world to our desires. Yet life is like water, unpredictable, flowing where it will. The harder we cling, the more it slips away. Freedom is found not in controlling every detail, but in surrendering to what is. The Buddha teaches, let go, and peace will follow. When we release the illusion of control, we discover the quiet power of trust, patience, and acceptance. In silence, the world reveals its true voice. Beyond words, beyond noise, there is a stillness where wisdom resides. The Zen masters remind us that silence is not emptiness, it is fullness, the very heart of understanding. When we quiet the mind, the truths hidden beneath our constant thoughts rise gently to the surface. In silence, we meet ourselves. In silence, we meet the universe. Compassion is the bridge that connects one heart to another. The Buddha taught that to ease the suffering of others is to ease our own. When we see ourselves in all beings, kindness flows without effort, like water seeking the lowest ground. True compassion does not ask, "What will I gain?" but instead whispers, "How can I serve?" On this path, love becomes boundless, and every act of care becomes a step toward enlightenment. To hold on is to suffer, to let go is to be free. The Buddha compared attachment to grasping a burning coal. The tighter we cling, the deeper the pain. Freedom arises when we release the illusions of control, when we loosen our grip on people, possessions, and outcomes. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means trust. Trusting that life unfolds as it must, like a river flowing effortlessly to the sea. In surrender, we discover peace beyond measure. In the stillness of silence, wisdom speaks the loudest. The Zen masters remind us that true understanding cannot always be captured in words. It is felt like the warmth of the sun on your skin or the stillness of a quiet dawn. Silence teaches us to listen deeply, not just to others, but to the rhythm of our own heart. In silence, the mind settles, the spirit awakens, and the truth reveals itself without effort. Compassion is the heart of Buddhism and the essence of Zen. To see another's suffering as your own is the deepest form of wisdom. The Buddha taught that when we cultivate compassion, we dissolve the illusion of separation. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, ripples outward into the world like a stone cast into still water. In compassion, we find not weakness, but the greatest strength, the power to heal, to connect, and to bring peace where there was once only pain. The art of living is the art of letting go. We cling to possessions, people, and even our own identities, fearing loss. Yet, the Buddha reminds us that clinging is the root of suffering. True freedom is not found in holding tighter, but in releasing. When we let go, the heart becomes light, like a bird taking flight. In that freedom, we discover joy untouched by circumstances, a peace that no storm can disturb. Mindfulness is the doorway to the present moment, the only place life truly exists. When we breathe with awareness, eat with awareness, or simply walk with awareness, we touch the miracle of being alive. The Buddha taught that mindfulness turns ordinary moments into sacred ones, because nothing is ever truly small when met with full attention. In mindfulness, the past loosens its grip, the future loses its weight, and we discover the freedom of now. Stillness is not the absence of life. It is life in its purest form. When the world rushes around us, the gift of stillness allows us to return to ourselves. The Buddha likened the mind to a lake. When agitated, it reflects nothing clearly, but when calm, it mirrors the sky. In stillness, clarity arises. We see things as they truly are, not clouded by desire or fear. This is the gift of stillness, the doorway to peace, wisdom, and awakening. The Buddha discovered that peace does not live at the extremes. Neither indulgence nor denial brings freedom, only balance. This is the middle path, a way of harmony between body and mind, desire and discipline. Like the strings of a lute, if pulled too tight, they will break. If left too loose, they will not play. But when tuned just right, they create beautiful music. The middle path invites us to live with wisdom, moderation, and grace. Happiness is not something we chase. It is something we awaken to. The Buddha taught that true joy does not come from possessions, status, or fleeting pleasures, but from inner peace. When the mind is free from craving and the heart rests in compassion, happiness naturally blooms. It is like a lotus flower, rooted in the mud, yet rising unstained, opening to the light. Real happiness is simple, quiet, and always found within. Everything we see, touch, and love is shaped by impermanence. The seasons shift, flowers bloom and wither, and even the stars burn out in time. Though this truth may feel heavy, the Buddha taught it is the key to freedom. Impermanence teaches us to cherish the present, to hold people gently, and to release our attachments with grace. Like waves upon the shore, all things rise and fall. When we embrace this truth, we no longer fear change, we walk with it as a friend. Gratitude is the quiet joy of recognizing the blessings already present in our lives. The Buddha reminded us that even the breath we take is a gift, the sunrise a miracle, and the kindness of others a treasure. When we practice gratitude, dissatisfaction fades and contentment grows. It turns what we have into enough, and every moment into abundance. Gratitude is not about waiting for more. It is about awakening to the richness of what is here, now. We spend our lives protecting the idea of me, my body, my thoughts, my story. Yet, the Buddha revealed that this self is not solid, but a flowing river of experiences, ever-changing. When we cling to the illusion of a fixed self, we suffer. But when we see the truth, that we are not separate but connected to all life, a great freedom opens. Like waves rising and falling on the same ocean, we are both unique and one with everything. Compassion is the natural expression of an awakened heart. The Buddha taught that just as a mother protects her only child, we should extend boundless love to all beings, friend, stranger, even enemy. Compassion softens anger, dissolves barriers, and heals wounds we cannot see. When we recognize the suffering in others as our own, kindness flows effortlessly. To walk the path of compassion is to walk in harmony with the universe itself. Desire is like a fire. The more we feed it, the more it consumes. The Buddha taught that craving is the root of suffering, always pulling us toward what we don't have, or pushing us away from what we fear. Freedom is not found in getting everything we want, but in loosening the grip of wanting itself. When desire fades, peace takes its place. In that stillness, we discover a joy that no possession, no achievement can ever match. Forgiveness is not about excusing what was done, but about freeing the heart from carrying its weight. The Buddha taught that holding on to anger is like gripping a burning coal. It is we who are burned. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the prison of resentment. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but it transforms our relationship to it. In letting go, we open space for healing, compassion, and peace to return. In a world that constantly urges us to want more, do more, and be more, the Buddha pointed to simplicity as a doorway to freedom. A simple life is not about lack, but about clarity, knowing what truly matters and letting go of what does not. When we live with simplicity, the mind grows lighter, the heart more open, and joy arises in the smallest things. A cup of tea, a quiet breath, the sound of the wind, these become treasures beyond measure. The Buddha discovered that true peace is not found in extremes, not in the grip of indulgence, nor in the harshness of denial. Instead, he taught the middle way, a path of balance, wisdom, and compassion. To walk the middle way is to live with moderation, to see clearly without clinging or rejecting. It is a gentle reminder that harmony comes not from pushing life away, but from walking steadily in its center, step by mindful step. Everything we know is in constant motion. The seasons, the body, our thoughts, even the stars above. The Buddha taught that clinging to what must change is the seed of suffering. When we resist change, we feel pain. When we accept it, we find peace. Just as a river flows without pause, life moves forward. To see the truth of impermanence is not to despair, but to awaken, to cherish each moment fully, knowing it will never return in the same way. In the quiet spaces between thoughts, the Buddha revealed the doorway to truth. Silence is not empty, it is full of clarity. Stillness is not inactivity, it is the ground of awareness itself. When we pause, breathe, and allow the mind to settle, the noise of the world fades, and the wisdom of the heart arises. In silence, we meet ourselves. In stillness, we discover that peace was never far. It was waiting within us all along. Patience is more than waiting. It is the art of trusting the unfolding of life. The Buddha taught that impatience is born from desire and fear, but patience grows from wisdom. A seed does not bloom in a day, and rivers carve valleys only through time. When we cultivate patience, we stop forcing life to move at our pace and begin to flow with its rhythm. In patience, there is strength, for it allows us to endure hardship with grace and meet the future with calm. Compassion is the heart of the Buddha's path. To see the suffering of another and respond with kindness is to touch the deepest truth of our shared humanity. The Buddha taught that every being, from the smallest insect to the greatest king, longs for happiness and fears pain. When we extend compassion, we dissolve the illusion of separation. In caring for others, we also heal ourselves. True compassion asks for no reward. It simply flows, like sunlight warming all without choosing where to shine. The greatest gift we can offer is not wealth or words, but presence. To truly be with someone, without distraction, without judgment, is to honor their existence. The Buddha reminded us that the past has passed and the future is yet to come. Only the present breath is real. When we give our full attention, love deepens, friendships grow, and peace blossoms. Presence turns ordinary moments into sacred ones, where connection becomes the true treasure. We often hold on to memories, to people, to things, believing they will keep us safe. Yet the Buddha taught that clinging only tightens the chains of suffering. Freedom comes not from holding, but from releasing. Letting go is not losing. It is opening space for new peace to enter. Just as a bird cannot soar with weights tied to its wings, we too must release what burdens us. In letting go, the heart becomes light, and the spirit learns to fly. Gratitude is the gentle light that turns what we have into enough. The Buddha taught that happiness does not come from endless desire, but from appreciating each breath, each moment, each kindness received. When we give thanks for the small things, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the gift of life itself, our hearts open wider. Gratitude dissolves dissatisfaction and reveals the abundance already around us. To walk the path of gratitude is to walk the path of joy. Forgiveness is the doorway to freedom. The Buddha taught that holding on to anger is like grasping a burning coal. It only harms the one who clings to it. To forgive does not mean to forget or excuse, but to release the weight of resentment from our own hearts. When we forgive, we stop carrying the past into the present. We choose peace over pain, compassion over bitterness. In forgiveness, we find healing for ourselves and for the world around us. The Buddha discovered that true peace lies not in extremes, but in balance. The middle path avoids the trap of indulgence and the burden of harsh denial. It is a way of living with harmony, honoring the body without worshiping it, training the mind without breaking it, seeking joy without becoming enslaved by it. When we walk the middle path, we learn to meet life with steadiness. In balance, wisdom arises, and in wisdom, freedom is found. In the noise of the world, silence is often overlooked, yet within it lies the deepest wisdom. The Buddha taught that silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a space where truth can be heard. When we quiet the restless chatter of the mind, we begin to notice the gentle rhythms of life, the breath, the heartbeat, the stillness between thoughts. In silence, we are not lost. We are found. It is in this inner quiet that clarity blossoms and the soul remembers its true nature. Compassion is the heartbeat of Buddhism. The Buddha reminded us that all beings wish for happiness and freedom from suffering, just as we do. To live with compassion is to see ourselves in others, to recognize their struggles, their hopes, their humanity. A kind word, a gentle smile, a helping hand can transform not only another's day, but also our own heart. When compassion flows freely, walls dissolve and the world becomes a home for all. Everything in life is in motion. The Buddha taught that nothing remains the same. Joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings, all rise and fall like waves upon the sea. To resist change is to suffer, but to accept it is to find peace. When we understand that every moment is fleeting, we cherish it more deeply. Change is not our enemy, but our teacher, reminding us to let go, to flow, and to embrace the beauty of impermanence. In a world filled with endless desires, simplicity is a rare treasure. The Buddha showed that true happiness is not found in possessions, but in contentment. A simple meal, a quiet walk, a mindful breath, these can bring more peace than riches ever could. When we release the need for excess, life becomes lighter, freer, more joyful. Simplicity clears the path so the heart may rest in gratitude, and gratitude is the seed of lasting happiness. Mindfulness is the art of living fully in the present moment. The Buddha taught that when the mind dwells on the past or worries about the future, we miss the miracle of now. Each breath, each sound, each step holds life's sacredness. By paying gentle attention to what is here, we free ourselves from distraction and awaken to truth. Mindfulness turns ordinary moments into extraordinary treasures, reminding us that peace is always within reach, right here, right now. Much of our suffering comes from holding on to anger, to fear, to things we cannot control. The Buddha taught that true freedom is found in release. Letting go does not mean we lose, it means we lighten our burden. When we unclench the fist of attachment, peace fills the open hand. By surrendering what no longer serves us, we discover the spaciousness of the heart, a freedom deeper than possession, a joy beyond clinging. Peace is not something we chase in the outside world. It is a path we walk within. The Buddha taught that calm arises when we quiet the mind and nurture compassion. Even in chaos, a peaceful heart remains steady like a lotus on still water. Each step, each breath, each act of kindness builds this path. Inner peace is not a destination, but a way of living, gentle, mindful, and free. As this journey of words comes to a close, may your heart carry the calm of these teachings. The Buddha's wisdom is not bound to temples or scriptures. It lives in every breath, every moment, every act of kindness. May you walk with clarity, may your burdens grow lighter, and may peace guide your steps. Remember, awakening is not far away. It is already within you, waiting to be seen. May you be well, may you be free, may you be at peace.